Yo, it's kind of weird having landwords right across from me over here, bruh.
No magic guess.
No magic guess. Feels like about 150 of them years since it's just been the three best friends that anybody could have. Damn, I'm about to go watch that movie. You don't know the reference, landwords?
The Hangover?
God damn it.
Oh, right, that's what it is, right? The
Yeah,
Hangover.
it is. Okay.
God damn it.
I've seen that movie.
You have.
How about that right in, huh, guys?
How about that right in, huh, guys?
No.
That's a classic, Landwords. I was about to revoke the three best friends pass.
Damn, really?
It's that serious, dog.
The Hangover is not
When I drop,
seminal to my life.
When I drop references, I expect the movie man across from me to get them.
But I'm not, even though I'm the movie man, I'm not always the give a fuck man.
That's
so
true, I guess.
A lot of these, like, it's in one ear and out the other. So it's like I'll watch it and then I'll forget it almost immediately.
That shit sticks with me, bro. I use that shit in life.
Really?
Consistently.
The fucking giraffe scene, bro.
The fucking giraffe scene, bro.
I just remember.
Wait, that's the
Tyson.
second movie, huh? That's the second
Yeah, that's
one?
the second movie.
Yeah.
Which that was still a good one.
This is why we need guests.
This is why we need guests.
Because we go off the rails at the beginning of the podcast.
Episode 106 is going to be called Unhinged, bro. Unhinged. Let's get canceled, fellas. We're on a fucking uptick. Everybody's loving the guests, bro. The views are coming in. Let's fucking wild out.
Let's do it.
I'm just kidding, dog. I don't want
Let's
to do that
crash.
shit, bro. Let's crash out.
Yeah.
Crash out. If you can crash out, break the backboard.
Yeah.
Man, do we intro this shit? Now I feel like we got to intro this shit out the gate now because we're so used to having guests and shit.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Go.
You are now tuned in to Respect the Connect. I'm your host, Johnny James, and I'm back again with a few of my nearest and dearest.
Yup.
Jay, I ain't got a good nickname for him today. Trav's in the building. What's poppin', Jason?
Man, chilling, bro. Trying to recoup from, honestly, these last couple of weeks, bro.
It's
to be
been
honest.
a wild
But it's been
fucking
a-
ride.
Yep.
Len Words, what's poppin', Len Words?
Popping like Orville
Orville Redenbachen.
Every time.
The guests love it. We're going to keep running with it. Episode 106 makes some motherfucking noise.
Damn.
Well, fellas, we had a fucking little fucking run there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, we did. Bro.
Let's take the audience back to what sparked this. Let's bring guests on top of guests on top of guest pause.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
pause, whatever. I don't know what the youngsters say. Old man Maestas is in the fucking building. So yeah, man, we as you guys can tell, we had a whole bunch of guests. We had a fucking like 4-week run of like since episode 100, we just spazzed out.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of felt like, you know, when I hit you guys, I was like, look, dog, I think we need to double down on the guests.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we know we can pod without people here. We could just sit here for hours and fucking have unhinged conversations for days. We've proven that.
Sure.
But we've built a platform now that people are paying attention to. So I felt now it's our duty to expand the voices that we can bring on this platform.
Definitely.
Have conversations that probably couldn't be had on other platforms. I don't know what it is about, you know, the one that we're constructing right now, but I feel we tap into something when we talk to a guest, we bring somebody on here that's a perspective that they may have never shared before. So I feel like now it's our, I said duty, but now I'm saying fuck that. It's our obligation to amplify some of them stories.
Okay.
How you feeling about that, Len Words?
I think that's what the people want. That's what people are tuned into. Mm-hmm. They're interested in it. Obviously, they've been kind enough to share their comments and their perspectives. So, yeah, for sure. It seems like the people in New Mexico are actually yearning for a platform that they know they're getting real conversations about this place.
Yep.
That's not filtered, that's not affected by this or that interest or whatever. It's real people talking real perspectives. So
with no like reason to like, we're not doing this for any other reason than just to shine light on a culture that's kind of been hidden in the dark.
yeah.
Well, bringing in nationwide eyes. Like, I don't want us just to pigeonhole ourselves and every episode all we talk about is New Mexico history, right?
Yeah.
Because that's going to get stale and stagnant. But I'm going to the obligation.
I was about to say, there's a lot of history out here.
Oh, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
yeah.
But the thing is that narrows us down. That kills our
We're not
scope.
we're not trying to like replace the PBSs
Exactly.
of the world.
No.
Like we're not trying to create that, but there are some conversations in some episodes that PBS wouldn't have.
Hell,
You know?
exactly.
That's where
That's
we
where we come in. You know what I'm saying? Unhinged, bro. I think it's important though because, like I said, we've established this platform, and I feel now it's our obligation to have these conversations mixed in with what other typical podcast conversations are. You know what I'm saying? What's going on in the world? You know what I'm saying? Lakers in 5, that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Those type of conversations.
Second round exit. Second round
This dude's a
exit.
fucking hater, man.
He said
I'm not a hater
about Lakers.
Yeah, because I said, "What you want to talk about the Lakers?" I don't want to do that. We've done it enough.
I found a moment, dog. There was a moment to put it there.
And I wasn't gonna
dog.
let you slip it in like you done doing nothing.
Dog, whatever, dog.
Just the tip.
Just the tip, bro. And then all of a sudden it's Lakers
Little
and 5.
Lakers, yeah. Little Lakers.
What do you think, Jay? How's this past? Let's see. Okay, so we had episode 100, Chef Marie, and then we had another one that was just us right after that. Do we have a guest? And I'm losing track here.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
I think it was just us. But then after Marie, we went.
phone's over there.
We went Crown.
Yeah.
And then we kept it running.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Right? And it's been a good little run, bro. And I feel we've brought in a lot of like new audience members that even were like, damn, I knew what you guys were doing, but I didn't know like there was an actual podcast.
Yep.
So I think doing that and allowing people that have their own story, their own platform, their own journey to sit down with us and have a convo, it's just kind of opened my eyes to like things that we may had like left on the table and not had been focusing on before. In this run, Jay, is there anything that you like kind of like have noticed or anything that you want that we should start chopping game on?
Well, shit, bro. Since we had Chef Marie, we started that was really dope because she actually started talking a lot about culture and stuff too. You know what I'm saying about on the cooking end, and then so after that, once we started having guests, bro, like the interactions picked up for sure, and man, the New Mexico culture with Jeremy, that one really opened my eyes too, bro, to like a lot of shit that we know but we don't know about, even just like New Mexico, but it's not just New Mexico, bro. Like the history is from the U.S. history, world history, and like it all bleeds into each other, bro. So having that episode I really liked because it opened my eyes to a lot of new shit. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'd like to hear more from visual artists. If we can get some visual artists in here, some people who do, stuff on a canvas.
Yeah.
It'd be dope.
Because we have a lot of them down here.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
There's a lot,
Should
yeah.
we
have
might just pull
more.
up the Taos and just do one in the fucking plaza over there and just tell people pull up.
I heard a statistic the other day that Santa Fe has more art galleries per capita than anywhere else in the world.
For real?
Yeah. And we have more theaters in Albuquerque.
Then per capita than anywhere else in the world?
What?
Goddamn,
Really?
what?
We have more theaters, like the concentration of galleries and theaters is denser here than any other place on this planet.
That's interesting. Well, and see, it goes back to what we've said a bunch of times, right? People are like, well, what's the industries in New Mexico? My brother, it is so difficult to monetize art, right? Because it's so subjective and it's something that you can't touch, right? Like the final product, yeah, but when you're selling someone art in any form, music, fashion, paintings, movies, whatever your art of choice is, initially you're selling them a dream, right? You're selling them your imagination.
Yeah, it's a story.
It's a story versus, hey, I sell ashtrays, right? You can see the ashtray, you can touch it, you can weigh it, you can quantify what it's sold for, right? Selling art is very hard to put a price tag on. How do you monetize it? What one person's painted canvas is not worth another person's painted canvas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're a state filled with fucking artists and art. And I feel like we don't really know exactly how to monetize it.
Well, how to industrialize it for
Industrial,
sure.
and that's a fucking double-edged sword.
Yeah, because we were just talking about that.
It's a double-edged sword. You know what I'm saying? Gentrification's a motherfucker. You start industrializing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden it's baby girl type shit. Listen, I don't give a fuck. It's unhinged, dog. Unhinged.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Monetize. There's a danger to it.
Yeah.
You can start bleeding and kind of losing your path.
That's true. That's true. But this, to me, this southwest part of the Americas is the land of the storytellers.
True.
Like if you think about it, there's these huge crossroads here where people for thousands of years have been like going all the way up to Canada, going all the way down into like the Central and South Americas, and then all the way across the continent. And this is the way that they kind of get into that corridor. So it's been a like crossroads forever. So what happens there, that's where all the stories, that's where you get all the news, like that's where everything happens. And there's just all these channels of information. That's why this place is so transient in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people come and go all the time. There's a lot of people who come from other places and stuff like that. So defining the culture of a place like that is kind of difficult because its culture is every culture. It's anywhere anyone's coming from that has come here and put down roots or, you know, stuck around for a little while to spit some game or put some paint up.
That's a part of why it's so different.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And it's part of why it's so hard to pin down and why it feels so deep, but the surface is so hard to perceive.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It feels like it's constantly changing.
Exactly.
And again, it's really hard to industrialize something like that.
Correct.
How do you monetize it? Like, how do you put a price tag? And that's, as an artist, that's always been difficult for me, especially in the beginning stages of my career when I felt like I hadn't earned shit yet, right? Like I hadn't proven anything. So why should somebody pay me what I know I'm worth, which I didn't really know then at the time either, exactly what I was worth. I hadn't proven anything yet. So where's that balance? Like, where do you hit that tipping point where it's like, okay, I've proven something? Because say, for example, say you're fresh on the fucking scene, you're an artist, and you haven't got in your, how many hours is it? 10,000 hours?
10,000.
10,000 hours. But you make something super dope, and now in the day and age, it goes viral.
Right.
Boom. Have you earned your stripes?
For some things.
For some, I was about to say for some.
So
things.
how do you like quantify it? How do you say, okay, this is my price tag now? How do you monetize it if, as an artist, because I know back then, before I had done any of that stuff, I felt I hadn't proven anything. I needed to prove it. I needed to earn it. I wanted to earn it. I think it's hard to quantify that.
I think so. I think celebrity, for the people who successfully quantified it into the upper echelons of income, I think a lot of that had to do with celebrity in that culture where people would pay because you're popular or perceived to be so. And that part of it has now kind of like fizzled out a little bit. So that doesn't exist as much anymore. So there's going to have to be a paradigm shift when it comes to all of these structures. And I think that's part of the reason why we've seen the responses and the reactions of people who are artists as well as the businesses and stuff like that, where they're all trying to figure out where the current is. You know what I'm saying? Because they all want to tap into that current to get that currency.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to find it. It's little drips here, little drips there, and then boom, gusher.
I know.
You know, just flying out of nowhere, like you're talking about, where virality happens,
And
but
boom.
it might just pop one time and then it goes dormant for the rest of your career.
Yeah, and you got to like, how do you capitalize on that? Like you said, did you earn your stripes when you made that hit? You might have in some areas, but how do you capitalize on that? Maybe get endorsements or sponsors or something.
Yep.
But then at that point too, like what you have to be broad enough that people do want to sponsor you. Like, do you run? You know what I mean? Do you run marathons?
Hey, listen, I know you guys know this or not, dog.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, and at the end of the day, too, like, sometimes there's nothing wrong with burning bright and fast, and fast, right? Like, people always use that term one-hit wonder like some sort of, like, dig at somebody, right? When a lot of people saying that shit are a no-hit, no one.
Yeah.
How you gonna diss a one-hit wonder that's good for life because of that one hit, and motherfucker, you out here fucking beefing with your chick that what are you talking about?
Write your
dude?
name on the orange juice.
Yeah, like what are you doing? Like you can't take away from that because sometimes, bro, that one hit is all you need.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with burning fucking bright and fast.
Yeah.
Unless that's not what you were going for. So I couldn't imagine, like as an artist, right? Someone that, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like as someone that wanted to build like a long-lasting, stable, substantial career, it would probably affect you emotionally to burn bright and fast and then be forgotten when you wanted to establish longevity.
Yeah.
So that's the double-edged sword with the virality stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think artists now come into the game thinking a lot more commercially about their art. It's just off the rip. You're thinking about social. You're thinking about like an audience and your marketing. Like that's stuff that people used to just be like, I don't want to deal with that. I just want to create.
Where's the label? Have the label.
Yeah, let the label take care of it.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist anymore.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like that front money and that front end investment. Like they'll come fuck with you when you've already got that happening, but they're not going to do it for you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because why would they do it for you and not for somebody else? You know, their niece or their son or whatever. It's like, why would I help you?
Because the machine still works.
Yeah, exactly. The machine absolutely still works. So I think that artists just generally, like especially independent artists, man, like that business conversation is one that they're having a lot more often, a lot more early, and they're getting better at figuring out how, if the iron strikes like that and something great happens, that you can cash in and you don't lose all your marbles, you know, just off of one tour or one song or one video or whatever. It's like people want to be in it for the long run, but they're also not looking at, oh, I'm just going to be a musician. Every musician is now an entrepreneur. They're also a merchandiser.
You have to be.
Also, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I think people are just being a little smarter about the business side of it.
Yeah.
And that requires a shift for everybody.
It does. Well, I mean, which is good because too many people beforehand were taken advantage of and their business was not in order and they weren't able to benefit from the machine.
Right.
The machine ate them alive and the machine has continued to benefit from it. So now, you know, this day and age, if you are taken advantage of, you got to take a lot of responsibility for that happening because that means you were too lazy to learn what the people are learning now. It's right there. It's right at your fingertips.
Yeah.
So if you get taken advantage of, you didn't learn what you should have learned. Yeah. Right? So, I mean, I'm not saying you should take advantage of a motherfucker, right. But back when the information wasn't at your fingertips, the machine could take more of the blame. Right. Because they were coming in finding these 16-year-olds, these 21-year-olds. Like, I always go back to Frankie Lyman, right? Yeah. Fuck, bruh. Now, he didn't need to get all curao and all fucked up on heroin. Like, he really didn't. But, buddy, they took advantage of dude. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. And that story is a tale as old as the industry. Yeah. So nowadays, you have the ability to be your own machine. Right. You have the ability to be your own A&R. You have the ability to be your own fucking producer, your own videographer, your own everything.
But you have to be that now.
Well,
you have to be all that.
Can I ask you guys' opinion on this? Because I've thought a lot about this. We agree that the machine works. We also agree that the onus and the impetus is on the actual artist to create that motion. But should we not be building our own miniature versions of the machines rather than just saying it's on you by yourself? Because I think a lot of artists would grow more if they got like-minded around amongst one another and said, okay, like we're all artists, right? So we can all fuck with a camera. Yep. We can all record some audio. We can all set up a light or do whatever. So if you need something, I can step in and jump in and help. For sure. If you need something, he can step in and jump in and help. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we could all coexist knowing that the buck stops with me for my own, positive or negatives. But we could be working together more so than just kind of like individually siloing ourselves off. Like that's why I like the Beat Collective that you do with was it Tut and Joe Speaks and I forget my other man's name that I met, but those Wonder.
Yeah.
So all those sorts of things where it's like a bunch of people working together who do the same things, being competitive when it comes to the art, but not being completely competitive, being cooperative when it comes to the business.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that not the way to go?
I 100% think so. And I think that goes into it. If you're learning the machine and you're not building your own version of it, then you didn't learn the machine.
Right.
Because the machine has multiple legs, arms.
Yeah. And when I say you have to do like as an artist, like there's a lot of shit like you do have to do on your own.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this guy walked in here with holding a laptop and 2 hard drives. You know what I mean?
I did.
There's shit that you have to do on your own. But like when it comes, like look at the pod, bro. Like we do have a system, a team here, right? We have a machine here that does help get all these cameras set up. So you're not just doing it. I'm not just doing audio. So we are building that in the same sense, and I'm sure, and I hope other people are too.
It should be.
Right.
Yeah, it should be, because that's how it's going to work. But you do also have to, like you said, the buck stops with you, the buck stops with me.
Yeah.
I have to still do my individual shit too, which I have to do extra video editing and this and that, and you know what I mean? So it all bleeds over.
Right.
So.
And I think if you've established what you can do individually, and then you start bringing in other pieces to the machine, if something goes sideways, you can still do what you need to do. Yeah, it might take a little bit longer, but you have established that you can do it on your own, solo dolo. But if you're not actively trying to build some sort of team around you, the chances of you getting to the level that I know you're probably trying to get to are slim. They're slim. Because again, not everybody is Big Crit. You feel what I'm saying? Not everybody's J. Cole. Not everybody's Kanye. And what I mean by that is Big Crit produces, mixes, masters, writes, raps, records all his records.
But
Right.
he also benefits from that infrastructure that was built in the South.
100%.
Just like Cole in New York, Kanye in Chicago, and
For sure.
New York and LA and everywhere else he's been. That's what I'm saying, is that we're here.
Yeah.
Speaking specifically about a place like here, we're still here in the building stage of this scene in this marketplace. And if you want people to come and break bread with you and say, hey, I'm a fan of yours, but you were performing and his artist was performing, hey, who's this guy? I like them
Exactly.
too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
you get that cross-pollination and that growth begins, but we have to think cooperatively about the business side of it rather than it just being about one person or another person breaking off and you know, doing that thing. Obviously, there's going to be levels to it, you know, but we want that rising tide.
Because again, fast and hot and fast, bro.
Yeah.
If it's one person hot and fast, what was established?
Right.
Look at all these
Exactly.
collective scenes that took so long to bubble, right? It was there, the infrastructure. Because again, a lot of these places have other industries, right? They have other examples of what an industry like that looks like.
Right.
Right? New York when it popped off, right? West Coast, obviously. Like the industries are there.
Yeah.
Then you go to like Atlanta and the South, like they were there, but they built them themselves.
Right.
The artists kept pushing, and like you said, bro, that tide. It might have took a little while, but once it was, Andre said it. South got something to say.
Ain't
that
stopped talking
shit-
since.
You know what I'm saying? And that shit rose and it stayed there. Same thing for us, bro. If we can collectively, and I like how you said cooperatively, build something, it'll be hard to damage it.
Yeah.
Because, like we said, bro, this is a state of artists, right? So there's so much. Once that tide starts fucking rising, dog, it's gonna be, oh shit, this, that. And I come from the music end of things. I'm not just speaking about that. I'm talking about an artistic scene in general, whatever the fuck that is. I know you guys seen Young Guns 3. About to start filming.
To start out here again, yeah.
Holla at me. That's all I gotta say, dog. Yeah. You need someone that's badder than fuck on one of them horses, dog. Regulators mount up. You know what I'm saying? Little shameless self-promotion there, but whatever. Young Guns 3 is an example of like a movie that's so intertwined out here that they shot the first one, like in 1990, 1989? Mm-hmm. I don't know when that shit came out. But that was like one of our, we held that as a crown jewel. I still do. Yeah. Because we didn't see that on the big screen, bro. Billy the Kid is an outlaw, and he's one of almost every New Mexican wanted to be Billy the Kid at one point. I still kind of do. I'm a grown-ass man, bro, but sometimes I just want to go fucking rob cattle and fucking get in the Lincoln County War and shit, right? So you have, like, movies like that and cinema that's, like, intertwined with us out here, dog. It's just, it feels like there's, like, a couple pieces that are just missing that need to just fucking lock in, bro, and then it's fucking Megazord time.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the development, really. It's the artist development. A lot of artists fall off because they got to pay bills while they're developing as an artist. And some people make those hard choices where it's like, I got to, pay for this or do this, or, life starts lifing, and you're a never was rather than a has been.
Fuck.
You know what I mean? So those sorts of things. And we know a lot of people like that.
Talented as fuck, too.
Very, very talented that just get caught up with something else, and then their life takes a turn, and they're just no longer as invested in the art as what they are. It doesn't make them less of an artist, doesn't make them less capable. But, it's like even when you get your 10,000 hours in, then it becomes like something that you can activate when you need to activate it when it's time. But you can still get rusty.
Oh, that
and it can still take a little. Yeah, it can still take a little longer to get back into that mode. But you can still get into that mode. You know what I mean? So I feel like that we have a lot of people out here who are really, really highly capable, and there are more and more young people coming up who are noticing. And I think for the generation that we serve and speak for and speak to, we have older generations that are looking at us saying, like, y'all took it a little further.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're going to take it where we take it, and then the people behind us are going to take it even further, and we should be encouraging of that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that I don't think cultural-wise we've had that definitive groupthink where it's like, no, we support each other.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we don't hate, we congratulate.
And I think it goes back to just us having to fight to survive. Right? Yeah. It's like survival of the fittest. Well, fuck, man, I've collected all this. If I share this over here, they're going to take it from me. And then what if they collect more and then I'm over here stuck?
Yep.
It really don't work that way.
Yeah.
Right? What another person eats don't make me shit. And me giving someone their flowers doesn't dim my fucking light, bro. You can't gatekeep always, brother, because if you sit there gatekeeping, you're going to get fucking stuck. Eventually you are going to need another key to another gate, and you've been sitting here blocking yours. What the fuck you think they're gonna give you a key to theirs, bro? Yeah. One hand has to wash the other. And I think it goes back to that. I think it goes back to people feeling it's just survival of the fittest out here. So it's hard to get out of that thought process. And it is group thinking. Just in a very negative direction.
Right, I was going to say it's the wrong thing.
It's the wrong, we walk in the wrong way, dog. Put that heavy-ass negative bag of bricks down, and let's push in a direction that can benefit everybody.
Bro, I got a call the other day from one of my buddies, bro, I used to work with, and he asked me, because I just posted something, I went on a bike ride, and he's like, bro, how do you stay, like, how are you always so positive? And I was like, and it got me, like, kind of got me thinking, bro, and I was like, why am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm lucky I have both my parents still around still, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not, like, where I wanted to be in life, I feel, you know what I'm saying? But I think you have to have something to look forward to. You have to have, like, be pushing yourself to do something, to have a goal, fucking open a business, do something, but you have to have that somewhere to drive you, because otherwise you're just gonna be negative, dog, and then you're gonna hate on. I'm gonna hate on you because you know you're writing a book and I wanted to write a book.
Fuck
You know
Leonard's
what I'm
book.
saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck Leonard's book.
And that's what it comes down to. But it's just like, bro,
I
like
ain't reading that shit.
I ain't. I'm not doing anything to better me, so it actually comes out against you guys. You know what I'm saying, or whatever it is.
You know, you and your brother, your brother and I used to have a conversation about that, and we came. I don't recall if we called it specifically this, but it's like a desert psychosis, where people in the desert, you know, you see mirages, is from that lack of water. You know, your head gets dry, your mind gets like you need water. So out here, people are just so obsessed with lack because they live in a desert. So just like it's ingrained in them in a subconscious way to always be like, I gotta protect the water, I gotta protect the resources, I gotta protect. That's why you get things like cactuses that grow naturally out in places like this, because there's only one water source. I'm gonna get that motherfucker. And if you come around here, I got a thorn for your ass.
Stab,
you know what I'm saying? And that reflects in the way the people think and how the people move naturally. Now, obviously, as
That's
people,
a good observation. Yeah, that's a good
as
comparison.
people, we can rise above that. You know, we're not stuck on that level, but we can learn from that and understand that when you're in a place like this where it seems like there's lack, that can become hypnotizing to the point where it's hard to see the greater that can be. You know what I mean?
For sure, because you get a little bit of abundance on your end, and it's like, oh, this is mine. Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
Yeah.
This is mine. Don't touch
Yeah.
this. This was hard as hell to come by. Leave me the fuck alone. But when you think like that, bro, again, dog, you start blocking your blessings.
Yeah.
Because there's so much more that's available when it's like, oh shit, man, you abundant over here. I'm abundant over here. Teach me a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
All this share this information, dog. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like, what you got over there, dog? Like, I got the green chili, brother. Shit, I got some fucking tortillas, bro. Like, I ain't got that. But, whoa, you got some butter?
Yeah.
Bro, you can have individual moments of abundance, but I could eat green chili alone, dog, but on a fucking tortilla with some fucking butter and some fucking, you know what I'm saying? It adds to it.
Yeah.
Your abundance can add to mine.
Right.
Like your cup, we could keep filling each other's motherfucking cups up, dog. You don't got to take your cup. Give me a motherfucking water, land words. Like, you don't got to take another motherfucker's cup, bro. You guys can collectively, and listen, I'm not sitting here acting like it's all kumbaya, because I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
But if that crossroad happens, right? You've collectively built as a unit. You've gotten better and I've gotten better. If we're at an impasse, you take the whole bunch of tortillas you brought, which you got more of now, right? And some green chili, because you know how I got mine.
Traded. Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh shit, now I got the tortillas and the green chili. Len words, I love you. You got to go that way. I got to go this way.
Yeah.
Sometimes that shit happens, bro.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Life is about changing like that sometimes. But you're going to learn more. You're going to gain more if you're open to having more of a community mindset
Yeah, for sure.
with what you have and what you're doing.
You have to be willing to if you get an income, you have to be willing to separate with it a little bit. For like the better, like we get paid, and what do? I hate paying bills, dog. I hate fucking. That's the worst thing, dog.
That's the worst.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but you have to be willing to separate with it on some level, dog.
You need air conditioning. It's hotter than fuck out here right now.
Yeah, dog.
Need to drink water. Gotta have clothes. I mean, I don't like spending money on all this shit, but you gotta have it. You gotta make the choice.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a house or do you want to live on the streets? Because you could probably have a little more money if you're on the streets without having to pay bills on the house, but then you're fucking living on the streets.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother set of things you got to figure out. So it's like you gotta come to a point where you are comfortable with letting go of some of that you bring in, because you're not going to ever make more. You're not going to get past that level if you're just trying to like, oh, I'm going to be a cheap ass. I'm not going to pay for this. I could do it myself.
Right.
Yeah, you probably can. But you're going to hit a speed bump. It's gonna, what's that shit called when it fucking narrows down? It's gonna fucking,
Like just.
it's gonna funnel in, bro,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get stuck. You're gonna hit a point where it's blocked. You have to fucking, you're gonna have to, You have to get comfortable with even giving up the time that you have or the money that you don't want to give up. And honestly, time is way more valuable, dog.
For sure.
If you have more time, then you can go and get the money that you had to give to hire somebody to come in and edit the podcast or take them pictures or make that clothes or mix that record or fucking do the graphics for the book. Whatever it is. Yeah, you probably can do it, which this circles us back to where we started. Yeah, you probably can do it. But when you get to that moment where you have reached a plateau and you have the money to do it, you can't be scared to separate it and have somebody come in and do the shit that you can't do anymore.
Yeah. And the expert saves time anyway. That's why they're the expert.
That's what they're experts at is that specific thing. Yeah.
They always say every best CEO or whatever, they know what they don't know and they know who they need to bring around them that knows what they need to get done.
Oh, for sure.
That's important.
Yeah.
You'll move faster.
Them jokers can't build rockets on their own.
Feel what I'm saying?
They don't know shit.
Feel what I'm saying?
They don't know shit about rockets.
Feel what I'm saying?
They know what they need to know about rockets, but they don't know everything. You hire an expert.
Exactly. You know? And I don't want to go too far off the conversation. How do we actually feel about Young Guns 3?
Wait,
What's
what?
the verdict here, bro?
I don't.
How did Young Guns 2 end?
Young Guns 2 was he was old and
he was old.
So there's a story
in like the desert
that exists that Billy the Kid was never killed by Pat Garrett. That he let him go, and he let him live his life in old Mexico, and he was good after that. That story exists. It's a urban legend.
Okay,
that's nice.
Yeah,
but the history of the personality of Billy the Kid.
Would he have stayed quiet in Mexico?
Yeah, I don't think he could stay quiet.
He's Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
So, and everybody's coming back. It's funny how they always call him Chavez, fucking Chavez, it's fucking Chavez, bro.
Yeah.
They're all coming back. That's what Richie said. That's what Richie Valens said. Anyways, he's gonna always be Richie Valens to me. I know his real name, but he's Richie. When I meet him in real life, I'm like, Richie.
Right.
He's coming back. Emilio Estevez coming back. They're even saying that his brother might come back, Charlie Sheen.
Oh, nah, man. Come on.
Wait, what?
That's what I'm saying. What the fuck are they going to do? They're going to de-age these guys, bro?
Man.
So that's my question. As somebody that's participated in the movie industry, me as well, I'm a movie buff. I want the movie to happen, but in my mind, I'm thinking, where the fuck does this story go?
Yeah.
Are they going to have them maybe older, recalling, and they're going to have a younger version of Billy the Kid? What do they do here?
I'm going to just go on the record. And maybe it's on a limb, but it's probably gonna be whack. It's whack as fuck.
I mean,
nobody was
new
yearning.
Evidence
who
that
was
came
yearning for this story? That's the thing. They have IP that they're sitting on, and they're like, instead of creating something new, let's just rehash the old and remix it. And I'm done with that shit, man.
Well, I mean, they are. This is they're doing that for a lot of shit.
I know, but
they just announced
Young Guns, a brand that needed to be brought 30 years later back into the forefront
with all the original cast. That's to me, that's what's interesting to me. How? These fuckers are old as shit. Emilio Estevez looks like his dad now.
Yeah.
He looks just like his dad, bro. Where does the story go? I watched them all die in the first one.
How are they still up?
Right, or at least the second one. They all got smoked in the second one. Second one was a wrap. Remember?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Where
Chavez
would
went
go?
to Spirit World, other home. They all got smoked.
Yeah, they all.
End was the end, except for Billy. Billy ended up telling the story. Did Pat Garrett kill him? Did he not? Whatever. But the reason I bring that up too is because here we go again. We're about to be on a run of the same situation. They just announced Goonies 2. Beetlejuice 3, which I knew was coming. You got to do Beetlejuice after the success of the second one. And there was another one.
Dude, they're doing all kinds. They're doing fucking Naked Gun, Men in Black.
Naked Gun's coming back? Those are forever.
You know who's doing it is Nielsen, Liam.
Oh, he's
Neeson.
coming back?
Liam
You can't do Naked Gun without him.
Neeson, bro, the dude from Taken.
Oh, hold on. He's going to be homie that was other buddy? That's gonna be crazy work.
Dog. Let's see.
I'm probably gonna pull up those movies though. Those are timeless.
I know, dog.
You can make those in any place.
Yeah, but why do we need another one?
I don't think we do.
Another Naked Gun, bro. Come on.
What is it?
I don't need another Goonies.
I
liked it. It was fun. I'm a big sucker for history adventure shit. I love those National Treasure movies.
Yep.
Even though I knew, it's bullshit, but
not,
some of it is, some of it's not. But they sprinkle in a little knowledge and science into it, and I like that. I enjoy like history and all that, but there's so many more stories that we could be coming up with. There's so much more history that we could be unpacking that we're just not looking further back into any of it. You know, it's weird, but I feel like we're being boxed in when it comes to
I was
the
gonna
ideas.
say that. Do you think that there are people doing that, but the gatekeepers?
I think it's so. I think there are probably independent people, but it goes back to the conversation we were having earlier. Is if you're an independent thinker, like I'm an independent thinker, and I come up with a story that's dope, but it's new, I know that the audience isn't looking for that. They're looking for more of the same. So I can't sell it. It's harder for me to sell it. Mm-hmm. It requires more investment, more time, more everything else.
We just turn out the same shit.
So me as an artist, eventually I'm going to be like, man, I gotta pay bills. So I'm going to just throw out some bullshit and see what happens. And then you never get back to doing what you love or doing what, was closest to your heart.
Bro, what's that movie?
So it's hard to balance that.
Mm-hmm.
My homeboy is the writer, and she wrote the book that took off. And he's like, how could people fucking like this shit?
Throw Mama from the Train. One of my favorite fucking
that's
movies.
a good one, bro.
Yeah.
Throw Mama from the Train with Billy Crystal.
That's great, bro.
And
Underrated.
Danny DeVito. Oh, God.
But what's the one that just came out? We talked about it a while back.
Oh, this
Now
is
I
a
can't
new
think.
one?
Yeah, bro. You would just watch it. I told you to watch it. Homie's a writer, and he's like trying to stand on business.
Okay.
And what's her name writes like a book that's like every bad
American Fiction.
American Fiction,
Yes.
is a perfect example of that.
Yes, correct.
Because he's trying to stand on business. He wants to be like a respected writer. Then he writes what he thinks is the worst fucking shit ever, and it pops off, goes crazy, outsells everything he's ever done, because he folded, and people. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. And I'm just gonna go out here and say straight up, bro, I am low key upset about Goonies 2. What the fuck, dude? We don't need a Goonies 2.
No.
30 fucking years left. What are they gonna do, bruh? Seriously.
Yeah.
Come on, dog. Some shit you just gotta leave alone.
Yeah, just let it be what it was.
Let it be. Look what happened when they try and redo The Exorcist now. That shit was a piece of shit. She was horrible.
I knew not to watch this shit.
I had to, bro. I'm a fucking fan. So again, my stupid ass is gonna pull up to Goonies 2. I know I'm not gonna like it. They're gonna have to do some spectacular. I want to be shocked and love it. But come on, dog. Goonies 2.
Yeah.
What are they gonna chase down the fucking ship that fucking floated away, bro?
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on, dog. And they're all coming back again. They're said the whole cast is coming back for
the
Goonies
young ones?
2. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, that was Buddy, the little Asian kid.
He's been killing it.
Yeah, but he didn't act for like decades.
I was gonna say, what is he?
Bro, he was.
He
in,
did that, and then he did
Everything,
everywhere all at once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he was
amazing
like
in that shit.
gone. Like he was out the game.
Yeah.
For the same reason, he didn't want to be pigeonholed, and he was being pigeonholed, so he was just like, all right, I'm good.
Now he's killing it.
Yeah, and he came back in his adult age, and now he's getting all his flowers. He's a real serious
He was
actor.
dope in the last
he's
season
good.
of Loki too. He's
Oh,
in that.
yeah?
Yeah, right after that he was in that. So, but again, bro, I grew up with Goonies, and I'm a sucker for nostalgia. But come on, dog, like no, that one. Oh, that's the one I was missing. They announced Gremlins 3 too.
Didn't they already have a Gremlins 3?
No, it was 2.
It was
Gremlins
New Batch.
Take Over New
New
York
Batch
or
was
some shit. Yeah,
3,
that was
wasn't
part
it?
2. No.
Oh,
You had
really?
one, which was the classic, and then the second one, which is goofy as fuck, but they had to do
when
it.
they take over the skyscraper. Yeah.
Remember the bitch with the
was
makeup
bad.
and titties?
Hey,
the little
the
gremlin
only-
bitch with the titties.
The only thing, that was gross.
Crazy,
That was
dog.
fucking gross. The only thing about the Gremlins that was cool was when you used to go to McDonald's, you would get the book and the record, and you could play the record at home, and it would be like the stories from the book, from the movie.
I don't remember that.
This
That
is
one too,
before.
didn't work.
This is before you guys. But this was one of the early like Happy Meal gift set, sorts of thing. You used to get a little LP.
That's
In
crazy.
a
That's
little
dope,
book,
bro.
in
That's
a
really
book
dope.
from McDonald's. Yeah, I challenged someone to have it, but they existed.
How
and they were
long
dope.
before was that to Ray Charles as the Moon Man?
The Moon Man?
Yeah, you don't remember that McDonald's?
Nah.
Damn, Len Words, you missed that whole shit.
The Moon
Remember he was built like a fucking half moon. He had the Ray Charles shades on. He played the fucking piano.
Oh yeah, I remember that character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't
How-
remember it at McDonald's though.
Yeah, bro, it was their toy.
Really?
McDonald's the ones who created that character.
Really,
Bro.
Bruh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a McDonald's character. I wonder how much Ray Charles got for that. Probably not enough.
That's all right. He wasn't gonna see it anyway.
For sure, he wasn't. See Justin Bieber saying that shit. He's like, I call Stevie Wonder and he never sees my FaceTime.
He's stupid.
Fucking dude. But okay, Gremlins 3. I'm not as upset about because come on, dog, it's Gremlins. But do we need a fucking Gremlins 3?
No.
Come on, bro.
Did we need a Gremlins 2?
No, probably not. That's why it's been so many years since Gremlins 3.
I definitely won't be tuning in.
You get
for
the
that
success, like the sprinkled success of some of these nostalgic fucking clusterfucks, right? Like Beetlejuice. Was it as good as the first one? Absolutely not. I didn't go in expecting that, but it was pretty good. It was decent, right?
Yeah.
It was decent, and it.
You said they're making a new one?
No, they already did.
They got to. Yeah, you haven't seen the
Beetlejuice?
second one.
They
You haven't seen
made
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that second one came out. 'Cause
Yes.
it has what's the girl's name? Aubrey Plaza?
No, is she in that?
I thought she was one of them.
Jenna Ortega's in it.
Jenna Ortega's in it, but I thought.
Oh yeah, she's the
Right.
the one that's chasing Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was again. It's not as good as the first one, but come on, dog. That was so long ago. There's so much nostalgia that we have attached to that. But it was decent. Decent enough to bring in a lot of fucking money. So guess what? All right. Goonies 2.
Right.
Bro, we're about to get a fucking Point Break 2. Watch. Keanu Reeves. They're going to...
I think did they say he's doing a new John Wick?
Oh, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm
John
pulling
Wick
it for
5?
all those, dog.
Them John
I'll be
Wicks,
there
though,
for
boy.
all them joints, bro.
What's another series that you'll just pull no matter what? Like
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
I'll go watch those. I get
like
the new
them.
Bond flicks. The new Bond flicks are
they're
fire.
ridiculous,
Even
bro.
the ones that aren't as good as the other ones. That whole modern, like Daniel Craig,
killed it.
era, he
Quantum of
destroyed
Solace.
that shit.
Yeah, that was
all of them.
dope.
Even the Quantum of Solace.
But see, those
cold.
are franchises that have went on for years.
Yeah.
There's been different Bonds, right? So those
Yeah.
have been in perpetual motion, right?
Right. Okay.
Young Guns 3 and Goonies 2 have been sleep
Nowhere. Yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
Now everybody's old, dog. What the fuck? But like, I don't know, dog. They're gonna fuck with my childhood. That's all I know. They're gonna fuck with my child, and it's interesting because I've been thinking about this because last weekend I was in Dallas for my brother's birthday, and we ended up at this really fucking dope like video game museum. It's a history of video games, bro. It was fucking sick, bro. Every single console you could think of from the very fucking first one. And it walked you through a timeline of when and how and what games and shit. It was so fucking crazy because, like, my older brothers are like 10 years older than me, right? And they're the ones who introduced me to video games. They brought they come from Albuquerque on the weekends and they bring the Nintendo and I would never get to fucking play it. Or I'd play it for 2 seconds and I really sucked. So then Mario, that first jump.
Yeah. You're
Cooked.
dead. Your turn's over, Johnny.
Never again. I didn't play the rest of the weekend.
That's
I
how Chad
jumped
was
into
with Mortal Kombat. I was like, oh no, you can't play this. Is
You
blood.
suck.
There's blood.
So I jump in the hole and I just sit there and watch them play all weekend, just pissed, right? But they introduced me to it. So there's this level of nostalgia there and we get there, bro, and it's crazy because I haven't felt like a little brother in like fucking 30 years, right? And all of us after we're like, this is crazy. Like it affected us emotionally, which was weird. I just thought it was a video game museum, but it was so attached to our childhoods that the nostalgia just slapped you upside the fucking head. And I hadn't felt like a little brother in like 30 fucking years, dog. And here we are in this Nintendo museum, and I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm a little brother. Holy fuck. Like, I remember this. And it was crazy, dog, because we were walking through all the eras, and the nostalgia just made, like, when I left, I was like, fuck, I want to buy a Nintendo 64. Like, it triggered something that's, like, in my, like, psyche that made me want to run towards that time and go back to that time. Time that, unfortunately, just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, of course.
So you see these motherfuckers out here, they know, they're not dumb. They're not dumb. I feel like our generation has been bombarded and sold nostalgia more than any other generation before us.
Yeah.
We're all trying to go back to that time that just doesn't exist anymore, dog. It's crazy.
Well, I think some of that is human though. I think humans are obsessed with getting back to the womb.
Yeah.
Like that cycle of life thing. Like
Yeah. It was warmer in there.
you emerge from from the infinite darkness, and that's where you're going back to. You know, whether you like it or not, that's where you're going back to. So that part of it is, I think, a natural like cycle. I also think that we got probably the last bit of mass media induced like consumerism, because my kids, like, they like stuff and they like games and stuff like that, but outside of like ubiquitous stuff like Minecraft and what's the one where they do all the dances and that bullshit, the Fortnite, like shit like that, there's a couple of them that are like everybody's familiar with it, but then there's a lot of stuff that they like that is like really like niche down. And I don't know that, like, they don't like the toys and shit like that. They just like the iPads and the games and shit that they can play on them. But as far as like video game systems and shit like that, like, they don't give a shit about like that.
Yeah, I think it's different for sure. Different time, because you just play it on the computer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see. I'm sure you didn't see no computers in that motherfucker.
Nah, there was, because they were using it to play some of the older games. But they were old ass computers. I'm talking like the first fucking Macintosh.
The Macintoshes, yep.
And they didn't even work. Right? Dog, they had fucking VCR, like, remember the fast rewinders? You throw that bitch in there, boom, it would rewind it fast. It was the wildest shit. I'm telling you right now, dog, it was, bro, we've been lied to our entire lives, fellas. What? So there was this arcade there that had all of the like cheat codes and all the secret levels in like every single Nintendo console. Well, maybe not every single one, maybe the first Nintendo to the 64. And it might have been Sega too, but it was a bunch of secrets that were on this crazy. So my cousin DJ had seen it, and I'm sitting there playing Duck Hunt. He's all, oh, hold on. The second controller controls the duck. Bro.
What?
Thank you. I was like, no fucking way. There's no fucking way that because that's a single player game we thought our entire life.
Yeah.
Fuck no. That second controller, you can move the duck in whatever direction you want it to go.
Oh, no way.
That's wild.
We could have been playing 2-player Duck Hunt.
That would have been fun as shit.
It was.
That would have been so much fun.
Me and my little cousin Spencer were there getting fucking weird.
That's
fucking
crazy,
ducks.
dog.
I didn't know
Why wouldn't
that.
Why wouldn't they advertise that?
Good fucking question.
You know what I
that's
mean?
crazy.
It controls the duck.
Did they have a power pad?
They did.
Did they have a TurboGrafx 16?
They did.
A Neo Geo? They had all that
Brother,
shit?
you need to go.
A Dreamcast?
All of it.
All that shit?
all of it.
All that random shit?
They had a
Dreamcast.
wall of all of it. They had the Power Glove, which was a piece of shit.
Did they have the Sega that had the CD player with it?
They did.
The CD?
They had the
I remember
Dreamcast.
all that shit.
They had.
I used to want that shit.
You know
so
what? I
much.
realized there was a Sega before the Sega Genesis. I thought that was the very first Sega. No. There was one that was around at the same time as the first Nintendo.
It was a small one, right? It was like,
I don't even know. That was the Dreamcast.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Genesis, actually.
The Genesis was about
black,
this big, bro. And it said 16-bit on the front. And you put the cartridge right in the top of it. But, bro, we were sitting there. I was like, there's no way my cousin DJ's. I'll try it. Sure enough, control the fucking duck.
That's
I didn't know that.
And they had it set up, which was crazy. Again, it took me straight. The nostalgia I was overdosing on it. And me and my brothers, we left like emotional over a fucking video game museum. But it wasn't the video game museum, dog.
Yeah.
It's what it represented in our lives. As we're getting older, we realize, fuck, man, it's moving quick.
Yeah.
And these times when we were kids and things were so simple, bro, like, it just felt easier. Like, all you had to worry about was your turn on Mario Brothers, right?
Yeah.
And it's just not like that anymore, dog. As an adult, obviously, it shouldn't be like that anymore, dog. If I'm sitting here at 39 worrying about my fucking turn on Mario Brothers, something went fucking wrong, bro. But it triggered something where I'm like, damn, man, time just moving, and it goes that fast, bro. Because where when I really hit me, we walked into this area where it had like the walls of the trailer, you know, them brown fucking panel walls.
Yeah.
Old couch that we had, coffee table, piece of shit TV with a VCR on the top. And this one had an Atari. I wasn't the Atari, I was Nintendo.
Yeah.
But same concept. It had, though, and I had this fucking poster in my room. You know, the dogs playing pool or the dogs playing poker?
Poker, yeah.
I had the dogs playing pool, right? But it's the same idea. They had that on the wall. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? I'm
Damn.
looking at my brothers like, this is crazy. Like, we literally stepped back in time. But it was brighter, and it was colder, and it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
But you realize, like your tank is, like, full of those memories. And when something hits it, you run straight back to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to pull up for the dumbass Goonies, too. I know it's not going to be good, dog.
Don't call me.
That's funny.
I'm
dude.
not.
Bro, if I buy you a ticket, you can pull up.
Yeah, if you buy me a
Fuck.
ticket.
Fucking peer pressure.
Yeah.
Landwords, I got your ticket.
Damn.
And then I'm just not going to show up. He's going to be there alone.
Right.
I already watched it. Watch it alone,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
That's hilarious, dog.
Okay, so what else do we need to touch on that we haven't? Oh, let's recap the Kings of the West.
I was about to say, yeah.
Let's recap the Kings of the West. Since we're going to call this episode Nostalgia. Because that fucking concert was dope as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, the event center
That
was
was
sold
nostalgic, bro.
out.
Yeah.
Sold out. Everybody was rocking. Wall to wall. Everybody knew the lyrics. Bro, you had fucking, obviously, Exhibit. Shout out X to the Z. You had fucking Loonies. You had E40. You had Too Short. You had Lighter Shade of Brown, dog. You had, bro, fucking, all of
five,
Bone
yeah,
Thugs.
all of Bone.
DJ Quick.
DJ Quick was there.
There's
That shit was sick,
Yeah.
dog. Super nostalgic.
Dog Pound was there.
Dog Pound was there.
Yep.
Everybody was there. And they rocked that shit, bro. That was fucking, for me, seeing all 5 members of Bone Thugs,
Bro, the last time I seen them, they opened up for Coolio out
damn,
here.
dog, that's way, he was on his Gangsta's Paradise
Yes,
tour.
dog, yes.
R.I.P.
They opened up
Coolio.
for him out here somewhere, bro.
That's a
I
long time ago.
Yeah, I was like in elementary, bro. That
You
was
ever seen
Coolio.
all 5 of them together?
No, just in the video.
Yup. Look, I've been on tour with some of Bone Thugs. I ain't never seen all 5 of them together like that.
Yeah.
Brother, when they went to Notorious Thugs,
Yeah.
I was wildin'.
Yeah,
They're coming back out to Sandia with Ludacris.
Is it all of them though?
I don't know. I hope so.
Well, yeah, it should be at this point.
That's what they always say. But we seen a moment that we may never see again, dog.
That'd be crazy.
I mean, well, look how many years it's been since
true.
they all show up. I'm talking Flesh Bone all the way to Busy Bone.
Yeah.
Busy was up there killing shit, bro.
Yeah.
I
Hold on.
heard that murk. Come
As
on,
soon
dog.
as,
It was
as soon as
crazy.
he touched the mic, the girls started screaming. You can't even hear.
I
couldn't
know,
hear
no,
rapping.
It was wild, bro.
Yeah.
And then
They just started
everybody else
yelling.
started rapping. Nobody did anything. I was like, damn.
By the end of the set, it really made me realize how much I fucking miss my Uncle Charles, y'all.
Shout out to Uncle Charles, bro.
Shout out Uncle Charles. We all got Uncle Charles, even you ain't got
was
one.
up there. Did you see him?
No, I
Bro,
did see that.
I was crying, bruh.
That was
Homie
funny.
he thought he was
Cello
the main
had that.
character.
Yeah, Cello had that fucking video. That dude, they had the spotlight on him and everything.
Homie thought he was the main character, dog.
I wonder. That's funny. I was gonna say. I wonder if that was part of their little thing.
I don't
but
know.
doubt
That
it,
shit was
dog.
hilarious.
Because the spotlight
Yeah,
was like,
they found him. They was like, yeah.
That's funny.
I got a whole vlog that I still need to edit of that night.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it was cold. My favorite memory from that was the women's response to Too Short set.
Really?
Bro, they
I was in the back. I
fucking-
didn't see
They
this.
loved it, dog.
I missed Too Short. Yeah?
Too Short.
When he came out, bitch.
Dog.
The
So
girls,
disrespectful,
yes.
bro. But they were in it.
It ain't disrespect if they like it.
Never real, bro. For real. Yeah,
Those kind of bars.
I was surprised.
kind of bars.
I was surprised
Life
about
advice.
that.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that shit
were,
was hard.
they were in it, bro. That was
Yeah,
funny.
that was. I got a vlog I need to edit, bro. There was some surreal moments for me in that.
Definitely. How did that feel for you, bro?
Yeah, because you got to bring Exhibit out.
Dog.
It was
What was that like?
super fucking like super wild, bro. So there's stuff that I can't talk about yet. That led to that. That was completely surreal. That only Dom got to witness. But
What happened, Dom? Tell us.
tell us, Dom. He's gonna tell you guys on the episode of Connected Respect.
Johnny, earmuffs.
Yeah.
Earmuffs.
The after
So,
hours.
like, leading up to that, we're there, side of the stage. I got Dom right next to me, and it's sold out. Like, you can hear everybody already. Like, it's crazy. I'm there with the mic. and I've performed in front of big crowds before. Like, that's not new to me. But what was new was going up there with no music.
Oh, yeah.
It was just me and my voice, right? And no one knew I was there. When I got center stage, before I even said anything, I could feel the fucking vibrations of the crowd.
Yeah,
it was
dog.
fucking nuts.
They
bro.
exploded when you went out there, bro. It was wild, bro. It was really wild.
That was, and at that point, once I think I said New Mexico or something like that. At that point, it was just autopilot. Like I went, I was gone.
You blacked out.
Completely in the moment, bro. But it was just so surreal to see everybody there, dog, and not have like music as like a crutch for me to like be there, and like you lose the crowd kind of. You're in your own head, you're moving around, and you're like performing your songs, so you're kind of zoned out. When it's just you and the crowd, you're completely hyper connected. Yeah, I was fucking wild, bro. It really was. And then getting off stage and seeing Exhibit get to perform here and kind of heal some of the past was interesting as well.
Yeah.
And then when he went into call it what you wanna call it, I'm a fucking alcoholic. Yep, I lost it. I was ready to go fucking, I don't know if you know this, but he can kill a whole Hennessy fifth, you know what I'm saying? That's where I went, bruh. So I think though, for me, the moment was extra special because Dom was there the whole time. He got to be right there. And I told him, you're fucking skipping levels, bro. What are you doing?
Right?
It took me 40 years to get right here, bro. You skipping levels. Chill out, bro. But it was extra special because he was right there. And it kept me like, I didn't lose focus on the moment.
Still grounded.
Yes. It allowed me to completely be there in that moment completely. And it was dope. It's one of those ones, I've talked about it a bunch when you look around like, holy shit, how the fuck did I get here? It was one of those. And then to get off stage and then to go to the VIP with y'all after we came out from behind stage and watch Bone Thugs fucking shred that shit. I'm telling y'all, I still miss Monk Charles, y'all. They lit the stadium up. It was like daylight when they did Crossroads in there.
Bro.
And I was lit.
I have a little footage on my camera, dog, because it was lit. Like, for real, you seen everybody's lights, dog.
But smokers only, but smokers.
That shit was-
Shout out to homie that came through in the clutch with the fuego. If you see this, brother, salute. Because we were fucking lit. All of us. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to smoke some fucking concert weed, bruh. You know what I'm saying? It's dangerous.
Yeah.
You're rolling the dice, bro. Because that shit could be a Jeffrey.
Yeah, he tried to pass it. I was like, nah, I got my pen right here.
I hit that shit and I was higher than the stars, dog.
I didn't know you like to smoke
Lit.
charm.
Charm. That's what you had, dog.
Charm.
Telling you. Sometimes you gotta hit concert joints, dog. Like, I'm saying, Jay, sometimes you gotta do it, dog. Life's a risk.
Oh my
Remember,
God.
you said it yourself, gotta nah.
Oh shit.
So yeah, it was fucking dope, man. I got a vlog coming that I need to edit. It's just juggling a whole bunch of things, but it should come out this week if I could get my ass.
Dude,
to
you
work.
should pay somebody to edit that.
Unfortunately, I'm not there financially yet, Jay. I wish.
Shit,
But see, some things, I'm glad you brought that back because
a vlog, you don't need to hand off.
some
though.
things need to stay personal, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like all my homemade porn, I edit that shit, dog. I can't hand that shit off. Man, I was like, Jay, look, dog, I need you to edit
He's
this
like,
quick
nah.
little 15-minute
I
video.
got my own shit.
You know what I'm saying? Gonna put this shit up on fucking Cornhub. Jay, throw some music behind that shit. Len Words color grade that shit. Some things are personal, bro.
Dog,
Nope,
this
ain't doing it.
dude. What the?
I'm working
Say it, dog.
I'm working on my own shorts.
See what I'm saying? That was a very dramatic way of saying,
Yeah.
some stuff is personal, bro.
Yeah,
you
dog.
got to work on your own.
Some things you got to keep to yourself.
Or put it on a podcast. One way or the other, bro.
That's funny.
But
though.
yeah, that the Kings of the West, it's funny because you have promoters. We're just, you don't know exactly what's going to crack off down here. Like sometimes some of the most popular artists that are popping right now struggle to sell out Rio Rancho Event Center.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you put together a juggernaut like that, and that shit's just, it's like almost guaranteed to be sold out.
Yeah.
The only one that was missing is usually at those is Ice Cube.
Oh yeah.
I think E40, like I think that similar concert it's not really a tour, but it kind of is.
Right.
If that makes any sense. Like, I feel like you can book a version of that as like, you know, okay, this is what I want to book.
Right.
Kings of the West. But it's usually Ice Cube. I think one time, I seen The Game on there.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's like a variation of that, don't you think? Fucking E40, bro. Man.
Bro, he just has like fucking classic
Hit
after
after hit.
classic.
You forget.
Bro. Damn,
Him and Quick.
dog, yeah.
Quick is the one where it's just like, damn, yeah, that's right. He did that one too.
You forget.
Yeah.
Until they start hitting them. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I was listening to that record he did with Tony Tone the other day, and I was just like, man, I forgot how much this motherfucker snapped. Like, that's dope, dog.
40 water.
The hearts of man, dog, that he did with Pac.
Yep.
In like 4 or 5 gangs. I was in all of them. All those samples are hilarious.
Sprinkle me, man. It's crazy. And again, nostalgia, dog.
Yeah.
But the industry also was different back then. You kind of touched on it a little bit, like with your kids saying how much they really don't give a fuck about the toys.
Not like that, yeah.
So the music industry was the same, right? We cared a little more and invested more time in the artists, right?
Yeah.
We'd go get the albums. We'd read the insert. We'd go to the concerts. We'd fucking buy the G-Unit Reeboks, right? I didn't. 'Cause fuck
no,
Reebok. I don't got no Reeboks, dog.
yeah,
Listen, I'm a sneakerhead and I refuse. I know it's blasphemous to some sneakerheads, but it's Nike gang, bang, 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 right? It is. Sneakerhead, listen, I don't own no stock or none of that shit, but I'm talking sneakerhead lingo here. Reebok, I can't do it.
Really? No Reeboks?
Never.
No pumps?
Nope.
No classics?
Never no Reeboks.
Nothing?
It was never
Damn,
mine,
bro.
Never mind.
What?
I just don't fuck with it.
Okay.
It was Adidas. It was Nike for sure, and then Adidas, my guy.
Yeah.
But we invested more time and energy and money, I think, in the artists back then than people do now, right? They'll go to shows and maybe buy a shirt, and then they're off to the next one, off to the next one,
Right.
off to the next one. You think that's going to affect when they're doing their own Kings of the West tour?
Oh, for our kids?
Yeah.
I don't think they'll have a version of it, because that whole like East Side, West Side, like even that label of the West, the kids don't think like that. Everything is off the internet now, man. Like where you're from doesn't really matter like that anymore. So I don't know that they'll even have that. I think it'll be like eras, like Taylor Swift, that like they'll just pick like certain eras or certain genres and they'll just try to package it somehow. But I don't see it being like based on locale, and even for it to be like based on a movement like the Kings of the West, which was all like 90s, you know, early 2000s, like artists and shit. Like our kids don't listen like that
I don't think so either.
at all.
It's like you said, it's funny that's like the dynamic. Like they'll see it, they like it outside of like massive shit, right? Like Minecraft,
Yeah.
Fortnite, Travis Scott
Yeah.
is one of those things, right?
Yeah, he is.
Massive,
He is.
fucking
Yeah.
massive.
They
dog.
all have an opinion on him.
massive.
Yeah.
But
Kendrick is like that now.
if like in 20 years, like Travis Scott still gonna be selling motherfucking places out.
For sure.
He's that dude to them for sure.
Right.
Right? But it seems like there's less of them. There's less of them. That they invest that much time, energy, and effort in. It's like they got a lot of them. Kind of like with the NBA with the superstars. Like, let's spread this around.
Yeah.
We don't need one face.
Right.
We got one. It's kind of like that. They don't pay attention or invest like we did, I don't think.
Yeah.
You think we were forced to, though? Because we didn't have any other way to get the information.
I thought-
we had to buy the entertainment.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, I mean, you think about it, like there were large like magazine industries and paparazzi and all that shit. Like whole television channels and conglomerates were built off of mass media, and all that stuff just got like it just crumbled.
Did.
You know, so they're living in a different world. Like for them, it just doesn't look the same. The world doesn't go through that lens the same way.
Have
so
you picked
I
up a
don't think
Playboy
it's that.
lately?
What's that?
I said, have you picked up a Playboy lately?
Nah.
Just about this thin.
Newspapers, all of it. Yeah.
Do they still
like,
sell newspapers?
They do. They're like
Do
$3 on Sunday.
they still sell Playboys?
$3.
$3 in like 3 or 4 sections, man. I am so disappointed in
$3 for a newspaper?
Yeah, I
The
do
fuck
like
outta here.
newspapers.
Them terrorists be hitting.
That was good. That wasn't them. That wasn't your boy. Your boy didn't do it.
You know what I'm saying? That was a perfect look. Sometimes the universe gives you timing for jokes.
I heard
You
the
gotta hit
Chinese
it.
invented paper.
No, it's been so
the
long
Terraform
since
paper.
it's been so long since I got a newspaper. $3.
Yeah,
bro.
it's
That
three.
shit was
It's
50
3
cents.
bones. It's 3 bones for the Sunday paper.
And the
it's
newspaper
only,
on Sunday was like the big one.
It
right?
ain't.
That shit's
Not no more. It's
tiny.
like it's literally like you're lucky if you get a like E or an F section.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ain't getting no fucking.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go pay $3.
And they used
10
to
of
get
them and go sell them for $2.
They used to hit you heavy with the coupons and all that stuff. None of that's they're not selling none of that anymore because coupon clipping used to be a thing.
Yep.
Like going to the store and having coupons. Now
There was
everything's on
a
your
show
phone.
about it, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
now
though,
everything. Yeah, you can
shop,
get your discounts
get that
on your
shit
phone.
on your phone.
Yep.
Like you got, bro,
Yeah.
man, Chick-fil-A, I be killing it with them points.
You got the app?
Got the app, bro. I ain't trying to. COVID changed all that shit for sure.
Yeah, guarantee
COVID
it.
changed the way I shop and the way sometimes I pull up to like restaurants.
Really?
Like the other day, for example, it pissed me the fuck off. I went to Walmart. I wanted one thing specifically. Motherfuckers didn't have it. I'm like, God damn it! I knew I should have fucking ordered this shit.
Yeah.
Walked all the way into Walmart. Had to park. Had to get down. The whole and whereas before COVID, who gives a fuck? But right now, I'm like, listen, I need productivity, man. Get me my motherfucking beet juice and get me the fuck out of here, right? And it didn't have it, bruh. So then I had to go on a journey, and it took forever. So
Beet
that's
juice.
what beet juice. Yes.
Why don't you just hit like Whole Foods or something?
Yeah, I would
Right,
have
ended up
thought
having to go
like
to.
Sprouts or something
But
else.
no. Walmart has the same one that I get, and it's for cheaper.
It's cheaper, guaranteed.
So I was about to pull up and get 2 for the. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get the deal, coupon clipping, lend words
What are
in
you
real
do-
time.
What are we doing with this beet juice, Johnny?
Bro, that shit's like a superfood.
You drink it?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Beet juice, carrot juice, all that shit's really good for
Listen.
you.
It don't
I
even
mean,
taste like
I'm-
you drinking juice. It tastes like you eating a meal.
Yeah.
But it tastes like
the
beets.
earth. Yeah, it does.
I don't know about.
Listen,
how I feel about
it's not the
that.
greatest thing in the world.
Okay.
But for you, Dom Smith, he's like, yeah, I don't know. But for you, bro, in the gym, dog,
Yeah,
just
that's good.
just recovery and stuff like that.
Yeah.
beet juice is where it's at. But not to veer too far. That's what made, I was like, man, fuck, see, I should just ordered this shit. Because I could have went, I would have had it, it would have been ready for me, I could have pulled up, someone would have brought it to me. That's what COVID did. Same thing when I go to like red, like to
Are you, so you
Chick-fil-A.
go to the grocery store now, and you're one of those people who just like, I'm gonna pull up, and y'all just bring the groceries and load
lot
them in
of
the
times.
trunk. Really?
A lot of times.
Wow.
And
That always feels
I ain't gonna
weird to
lie.
me.
I mean, I could see that.
a lot of times. Yeah.
Like me, I don't do that though. but like for him, I think he it's probably like a hassle to like,
it is.
especially. To go
Oh
to Walmart.
yeah, I guess because
You know what I'm
people,
saying?
people recognize you and stuff now.
But
so.
me, fuck that, bro. I'll go to Albertsons.
Yeah.
I'm out that. I get everything I need. I'm in and out that bitch in like 11 minutes, dog.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm shopping for a motherfucking
Yeah,
gang,
that's you.
bruh.
Yeah, that's different.
I bought my truck just for the groceries, bro. So, but
for the Sam's Club
I
runs.
did, dog. Now Costco, I don't do that shit.
You
Like I
don't do
pull
that.
up, nah, because you gotta. That's different. But like Smith's or something like that, like the daily groceries, the weekly groceries, sometimes it's just easier. Sometimes they fuck up, but listen, Jay said 1,000 times, players fuck up too, Craig. Sometimes they fuck up. And it's a drama story, but sometimes it's still easier than having to go and just do all that shit yourself. And that COVID.
Is it? I don't know, man. Like that one to me is like I'd rather pick my own cans off the shelf. Like I don't know about that.
You
they're all walking out all. This motherfucker can't even get out his truck. and-
Yeah, I don't. We haven't had any issues like that.
Yeah.
But like certain things, I want to pick like some of my produce. Right.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But if you get like the stuff
I mean,
that
it's
takes
all
you
got
forever,
GMO
though.
and
Yeah. But you gotta pay attention to that,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
You
yeah.
got the other day. Matter of fact,
I don't
man,
want nobody just coming up to the car
everywhere.
just like, yeah, that's the best one we had. It's like, motherfucker, that's just bruised all up. Like,
You still got to pay attention. Like, yeah, at the Walmart run.
Yeah.
I've been on this whole kick of not wearing any polyester plastic underwear. Right?
Okay.
I read an article the other day, and again, I didn't vet this shit. This is just an article I read. Scientists did this, so whatever. You guys do your research.
Yeah.
They found over a fucking tablespoon of microplastics in cadavers' brains. So that was usually from
tablespoon? How do you measure
fucking
that out?
Good question. I'm not a scientist. I said do your own research, Len Words.
Okay.
I didn't do it. I just read it. But I'd already been on this path. It was from like 2015, they did the measurement to like 2020, okay?
Okay.
And typically it was like not even close to a tablespoon. I don't know what the measurement was, but it was almost insignificant. But these are forever plastics and chemicals. Fast forward from 2020 to now 2025, the same study was conducted and it was a full tablespoon of microplastics collected from cadavers' brains, okay? So they claim that obviously your fucking huevos.
I was about to say, what's it got to do with your draws, though?
Your huevos are like your like armpits and stuff like that, right? So like it's a different part of your body that can absorb things easier, sweat glands and all that stuff that's there. So the microplastics that are in like polyester and like all these fucking Calvin Klein, whatever, we ain't getting a sponsorship, fuck whatever, make some cotton ones. It's right next to your fucking balls, bro.
Yeah.
So you're absorbing it into your body. Those microplastics that are in the fucking underwear, which to me, just thinking about it, makes some sort of sense. I've worked with clothing. I know what polyester and that shit feels like and how it ages.
Yeah.
Why would you want it that close to your fucking huevos when you could go the 100% cotton option? So I've been going 100% cotton, right? I got rid of all plastic.
I didn't need to know, but okay.
But now you know, right? Now you know.
Now you know.
Now you know, dog. The more you know, bro.
Just in case you ever got curious.
When I go out, they ain't finding no fucking Aquafina bottle in my nutsack. I'll tell you that, bro. It's gonna be microplastic free.
There you go.
But I say that to say this: even in me going to go and get the 100% cotton underwear,
Yeah.
it's not fully 100% cotton if you ain't doing your research, because only the full color ones are 100% cotton. The heather ones, the gray ones, are like 50-50 split. So there's still plastics in the underwear. Like you said, you have to read the fucking product yourself. You said it's still GMOs no matter what you get. You gotta search, and that's what it takes forever. It takes a long ass time. And then even when you do do the research, another paper comes out that says microplastics are good for your huevos. I think cotton makes more sense to me though, because it's a natural
fabric.
Exactly. Polyester, that shit plastic, bro. That shit lasts forever. I remember those commercials with the ducks in the oil with the fucking the 6-pack thing around their neck.
I still cut those damn rings when I get
See
them.
what I'm saying?
I don't think it's gonna make it to any ducks, but
Whatever.
just in case.
You know which one I won't.
think about
You know
that
which one I
shit.
won't participate in though, because it's just kind
What's
of
that?
nasty. The fucking paper straws.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You ever drank out of a paper straw?
Actually, yeah, I forget where I was not too long ago, and it like caught me off guard because I didn't know it was a
the
paper straw.
grossest sensation.
Yeah, it's weird.
Ever. I just want to throw the drink at the wall.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get to the end of it, you're just drinking paper, particles of paper. Listen, I'm all
I
about
just take-
saving.
I just take
Recycled
off
though.
the-
It's recycled.
I'll just take the lid off and
I
sip
really
it
don't
like
even
a regular
use straws
cup.
anyway.
You know what's funny though?
I don't
It's
really
like
use straws.
you're talking about plastics. What the fuck are we drinking? Using the straw to drink out of?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A fucking plastic like
A
this.
plastic cup.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. We got plastic cups in front of us. Jay,
know
why you
what
putting
I'm
us on
saying?
blast, dog? But these are recycled plastic, you know what I'm saying?
Was that bad?
Blake's
What is-
recycled this shit.
Still, what does that mean?
There's
though?
plastic in the water.
It's
now.
still plastic.
Yeah.
That's what they say though. They say
can't
whenever
avoid
you
it,
whenever you cook, whenever you leave. That's why they say not to leave your water bottles in your car.
Yeah.
Because it gets hot and the heat makes the plastic leak into the water.
I mean, I prefer to drink out of glass when I get the option.
I'm
but-
switching all of it.
Yeah.
I ain't doing
Like,
no plastic Ziploc containers anymore.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to get as far away from it as I
I was
can.
about to just get this shit
Get
out
this
of
shit
here.
the fuck out of here. We need some glass ones up in here. But when you think about it, like not even
Come on,
being
a
like,
mason jar next week.
you know what I mean? With the Blake's, I'm gonna put a sticker over a mason jar with the Blake's logo. But the thing is when you just think about it, you don't gotta be the most intelligent person on the face of the earth, but think about it. If you're leaving a plastic water bottle that's thin ass plastic in a 110-degree car, yeah, you could taste it in the water when you drink that shit, bro. It tastes like a fucking action figure. You know what I'm saying? That can't be good for your body, bruh.
Probably not.
No. So I'm gonna do my best to try and do it, and that's why we drinking the beet juice out of the glass bottles, land words. But
juice.
I still don't have time to go and get all of my
Popping
groceries.
bottles, dog.
Popping bottles
Popping
of beet
bottles
juice.
of beet juice.
Popping bottles.
I'm about to be
The
40.
streets
dog.
have changed.
They have, bro. I'm about to be 40, brother. If you know what I'm saying, we got health is wealth, my dog. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the segue out of here, fellas.
dog.
Health is wealth. Get your beet juice. You know what I'm saying?
Drink it
Collect
out of
your
glass.
Chick-fil-A points. Get your $100 or your 100% cotton fucking underwear, bruh. You don't want plastic in your huevos, dog.
Nope.
Until next time, respect the connect. Peace.
It's picker than this.